It's been a while. Those are the conversations that we should be having. There's nothing I can do to control that. When you think of the word confrontation, what immediately pops up in your mind? I should have learned that a few years ago. I'm not gonna put myself in a worse position to put you up. Okay, but this is eating you up at night. Don't let it boil up to where it's boiling over. I don't know if there's ever going to be a day where they're going to give it 2 thumbs up. Hey guys, it's your girl Kaya and welcome back or welcome to another episode of Keynotes with Kaya. I'm your host Kaya, as I just said, and it's been a while. I have no excuses. I don't think y'all want to hear the excuses anyway, even if I did come prepared. Like, I really don't have any. I can tell you what's been going on if you want, but I also posted a life update on my channel, so please watch that because that's mainly gonna give you like what's been going on. But honey, that was earlier in the year. It's the end of the month. It is January 27th. So what has been going on this entire month? A lot, honestly. Just a little bit of housekeeping before we get into today's keynote. I am thinking that I'm only going to use this channel just to post podcast episodes. Honestly, I want to collaborate with like more of my friends, or honestly just more people I actually don't even know. I'm okay with that too. I just want to broaden perspective and like have more conversations and deepen like connections, honestly. And I feel like my hauls and my podcast do like fairly well on here, so I feel like I kind of plan on doing that. Some people just like to play stuff and let it listen or like let it play while they're doing other things, so I was like, okay, cool. Plus I enjoy recording these, but some of the other stuff like my vlogs and everything I put a lot of work into. It takes me a really long time, honestly, and when it's up, baby, I want more than 10 views. Like it is what it is. So if you kind of like that kind of content though, I will every now and again do a couple funny videos here, but honestly I'm thinking about just turning those into shorts, putting it on my Instagram. The vlogs definitely will be on my Instagram. Like just some of the other stuff I've been doing, I'm going to more so put on Instagram/TikTok, so make sure that you're following me on those platforms. I'll put it here. It's the same as it's always been. We've hit a year mark on this channel, like yes, period. I'm super excited about that. Next is today is Tuesday. I technically started school yesterday, but due to the snow, I didn't have to go on campus. Honestly, I am kind of anxious to get back. I'm not really all that excited if I'm being completely honest, but if I go into, I know with a positive like attitude and more like a positive mindset, then I know like it should be okay. But there's a lot of moving parts happening, but y'all didn't come here to hear me talk about that. I feel like that's about it as far as housekeeping. If anything else pops up, like I'll insert it. But other than that, like let's go ahead and get into it. So today, I didn't want it to be a long episode at all. Just kind of getting back into the groove of stuff. I really want to talk about like the conversations that we avoid. You know, I feel like there's a lot of conversations I know as people and as adults that we just don't want to have. It's really uncomfortable. It's very unconventional. And I think that those are the conversations that we should be having. I know a lot of times as I've gotten older and I still think I'm an adolescent, but I still feel like there's some stuff where I'm learning and I'm like, why didn't anyone ever tell me that? Why am I just learning this now at this day of age? I should have learned that a few years ago. That's stuff that should have been brought up previously. I do know that I am a little bit different with how I like to move and how I like to do things, and that's not everyone's cup of tea, and that's completely fine. But there are some things where I'm like, now why didn't y'all tell me? Why am I the last to find out? Let me ask you guys, right? You know, a little bit of food for thought. When you think of the word confrontation, what immediately pops up in your mind? What do you define confrontation as? Looking at Google, I think it had said confrontation is basically, I think, like addressing a situation like head on, like a hostile/aggressive manner. And when I hear confrontation, I don't think of that word. I don't think of that meaning at all. I think confrontation, honestly, when you say like I'm about to go confront them or we should go confront them, I think confrontation does have a negative connotation to it, but I guess I'm curious as to why. So would you just say I'm going to go address the situation versus I'm going to confront them, even though you confronting them is addressing the situation. I guess it just depends on how it's going to be done. But even when I am handling a confrontation, it doesn't mean it has to be nasty. It doesn't mean that I have to raise my voice. It doesn't mean that I have to put someone else down and be condescending. I don't think of confrontation in that way. I think of it as taking matters into my own hands and addressing the situation head on, like directly to that person, not talking about them, not going around a bunch of like other barriers and walls. Like, I'm going straight through here. And so I feel like there's a lot of words that's like that, where it's like really negative and really bad, and people are like, I'm not confrontational, in which I do believe a lot of people are not. But if someone asked me, I would be like, I definitely lean towards more the confrontational side than not, because I believe in handling situations. And I'll talk about this in another episode, but there have been people that I have let go, and I didn't just let go because I let distance like break us apart, or just like I kind of fell off or whatever. I personally went up to them, told them why I'm not doing this anymore, and called it a day. And so is that not having a confrontation? I'm talking to you head on. I'm the one with the issue. I'm the one that's deciding I don't want to do this anymore. Sometimes, like I said, people have interesting responses. I understand why people don't want to. You know, you can't control how other people respond. And I know some people take it very poorly, and some people get enraged. Other people become really dismissive. Other people shut down. Some people walk away. Some people get belligerent. I understand that. And you know what? You can't control how other people respond to you. All you can do is control your actions and how you approach people. So if I'm approaching you very calm and very like serene and kind of like professional, like I'm coming at you like a friend, or as if I was your boss letting you go from a job, and you decide to respond in a negative manner, that is only showing me your colors. That is not putting a bad light on me. That doesn't make me a bad person because I decided to tell you how I felt about something in a respectful way, and you decided to act out from that. That was your response to that. And I'm not saying that that response isn't valid. I'm just saying that there's nothing I can do to control that. And I'm not going to avoid having a conversation, because this is what we do. When we think that someone is going to respond poorly to something, we decide, I'm just not going to talk to them about it today because they're going to get upset and I don't want to ruin their day. Okay, but this is eating you up at night and you have been pushing this off. I don't know if there's ever going to be a day where they're going to give it 2 thumbs up and want to have the conversation. So I think you should do what's in your best interest. And this is when I really say, like, I'm not saying people have called me this, but people would probably look at me as more of a selfish person, just because I am going to put myself first when it comes to situations like this. It doesn't mean all the time I'm not a selfish person where I'm always thinking about myself first. I actually think about other people a lot. I just try not to do it to a fault where I'm putting myself on the back burner. Put myself first and then be like, okay, well, how can I help you? Are you enjoying the videos here? Are you looking for a new YouTube family or bestie? You come to the right place. I'm Kaya, and on this channel, you can find something new, something old, lots of laughs, vlogs, fashion, podcast episodes, travel, and so much more. The possibilities are endless. The fun here is free. So subscribe so you're not missing out. I would like to thank Keynotes with Kaya for sponsoring this video. Now, let's get back to the good stuff. And I know we get into that situation where it's like, let's say it's my last 20, or right now, like, I don't have any disposable income. Like, I can't just be handing out money to people and someone's asking me for something, but I really don't have it. Like, all my money is allocated towards something specifically. Just because I don't give you the money doesn't mean that I'm a bad person, or doesn't mean that I'm being inconsiderate and I'm thinking about myself. Technically, I am kind of thinking about myself, but I don't have the funds also. I'm not gonna put myself in a worse position to put you up. That doesn't make any sense to me when I know I don't have it. But just to be a nice person, I'm going to do that. In the long run, you end up kind of resenting doing that, and people can take advantage of you from doing that. It's better for me to have a conversation with that person and say, I really don't have it to, give you money. Is there another way I can assist? If they say no, I just really needed some help in that case, thank you. Okay, cool. And normally stuff is fine, but there are people who are going to get upset and be like, I know you got it. And I mean, what are they gonna say? Like, I feel like people like that, you need to realize, maybe the situation isn't serving me, maybe this person isn't serving me. And from there, I would say a conversation needs to be had, where you need to confront them about what's going on in that moment. Don't let it boil up to where it's boiling over and now you're at a place where you can't control your feelings, where you can't have an actual sound conversation with someone, because now you're at the point where you're so upset you're just seeing red. I don't want to get to that point, and I try to avoid that. So when I'm having issues, I'm gonna talk to you about it. I didn't like the way you did this. When you did that, I felt like this. And I'm gonna have these itty bitty conversations because maybe you felt like something one day too, and this is opening the door for you to talk about it, one. But two, I refuse to let myself get fed up over time and over years. Guys, I've stopped holding on to grudges a long time ago. It's because it's not serving me. It was not serving me, and it's not serving you either. I am going to talk about this in another episode, but forgiveness really is key. And even if you can't fully forgive that person, just understanding and knowing where you stand with them sometimes can be enough. You know, I feel like sometimes having that confrontation with people also helps me find closure within the situation. And I feel like, okay, now I can move on because I let them know how I felt about this. I know how they feel about it. We can't be on the same playing field, you know, and so this is where it'll stand. Or maybe I've had conversations with people where I said, I'm not growing with you anymore. And this is where we'll stand. This is where it'll be. So I just feel like if we can kind of rework around that word, start having the more honest conversations with people and not being just like letting that anxiety, because honestly, you're anticipating what's going to happen if we're being completely honest. There are situations where you might have talked to someone about it and they've responded poorly. And so you're like, I don't want to do it again. But honestly, you kind of have to keep scratching at that itch or really think about it to yourself. Like, maybe I just don't need to be as close with this person as I really am, because there's no way I'm going to truly feel like I can, you know, fully be myself and express what I need to. You guys know I'm a really big advocate of like self-growth and putting yourself first. Like, I'm always going to be like, put you first. And that doesn't mean if you put yourself first that you're putting someone else second. It means that you're putting you first. I didn't say that. I believe you could put two people first at the same time. I don't think it's well, if you put yourself first, then that means you can't put someone else first. Like, yes, I can. I can very much think about you and make sure that you're a priority and make sure I'm a priority at the same time. Like, it doesn't get in the way of each other for me. And if it does for you, then I would figure out in what ways can I put you first, where it's like, okay, well, I can step back for myself, and other ways where honestly it should be reciprocated if we're being honest. But there are times where people just don't understand that. So I kind of just wanted to let you guys know, to when you're uncomfortable with these conversations and you feel like you don't want to have them, that is your big sign that you probably need to have it. Just make sure that you're coming about it in a correct way. It's not coming from an emotional place, an emotional state. You know, marinate on it, ruminate on it, just really sit and really think. If you need to write down stuff and get those juices flowing, like get those thoughts going for yourself, honestly, because in the long run, it's like a weight is put off of you. And we have so many other factors in life to be worried about. Like, I don't want to have to sit here and be concerned about this little minuscule thing that's going to turn into a big thing. Like, there's just so much other stuff to worry about. So guys, please have these conversations. If you need assistance, I'm not saying like I know the way or how to guide you. I will always recommend therapy for people. So I would definitely talk to a licensed professional. I am not a licensed professional, guys. Everything I say over here is very highly opinionated. Okay, it's very subjective. But I would definitely suggest talking to a licensed professional or a medical professional, depending on, you know, what the situation is. Get the resources and the tools that you need so you can be the best you, because we're changing all the time. You know, the Kaya I am today, 2026, is probably gonna be a different Kaya next year, 2027, okay? And it should be a better Kaya. You know, we shouldn't be regressing in life. Let's progress. Okay, so that is going to be it for today. If you guys have any extra thoughts or comments, concerns, please let me know down below. Make sure that you are subscribed and give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I love having these kind of conversations, and I think that's it. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. Me, 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 me.